All right, let's talk about 2026. Here's a hard truth. The new year isn't going to magically change your finances unless you decide to change your plan. So today, we're going to build something absolutely crucial, your financial blueprint for the year. We're talking about a clear, practical strategy for making some real, actual progress.
And this quote, this really gets to the heart of everything we're going to talk about today. It's the central idea, right? The goal isn't just to work yourself to the bone trying to earn more. It's about making the money you already have work way smarter for you. And that's a huge shift in thinking, from just pure effort to an intelligent strategy.
So, here's our game plan. First, we're going to lay the foundation by getting really clear on where you stand. Then we'll drop the blueprint with some solid goals. After that, we'll dive into mastering your cash flow, building for the future, and finally, we'll lock it all in with the right mindset for growth. Sound good? Let's get into it.
Okay, first things first. You wouldn't build a house on a shaky foundation, would you? Of course not. Well, the exact same thing applies to your finances. The starting point for everything is moving out of that vague, kind of stressful feeling of not knowing where your money's going and into crystal clear awareness. This right here is the absolute non-negotiable first step. I mean it. Before you can make any meaningful changes, you have to get a completely honest look at your financial life. It's all about knowing exactly what's coming in, and maybe even more importantly, exactly what's going out. So here's a simple but incredibly powerful action you can take right now. For just 30 days, track everything. And I mean everything. I know it might sound a little tedious, but just think of it as a quick financial health checkup. This one exercise is honestly the most powerful diagnostic tool you have. It's going to reveal all those little invisible habits that are either pushing you forward or quietly holding you back.
Awesome. So once you have that awareness, you need a direction. Because let's be real, awareness without a goal is like having a map with no destination marked on it. This next part is all about drawing the actual blueprint that's going to guide every single one of your financial decisions from here on out.
Your goals, they're literally the architecture for your financial future. And for them to actually work, they can't just be vague wishes. Nope. They need to be specific, they need to be measurable, and they absolutely need a deadline. This is what turns a fuzzy dream into a concrete plan.
And this slide just illustrates the difference perfectly. I want more money? Well, that's just a feeling, isn't it? It's not a target. But save a $5,000 emergency fund by December 2026. Now that is a real concrete objective. You can break that down. You know exactly what you need to do each month or week to get there. It's actionable, it's motivating, and you'll know for sure when you've hit your mark.
Okay, so you've got a solid foundation and a clear blueprint. Now it's time to manage the building materials, which is your cash flow. This is all about controlling the money moving in and out of your life. And it really just boils down to a simple two-part equation: managing what you spend and growing what you earn.
This is the engine of your entire financial plan, and it really does involve two separate skills. First, you've got to build the discipline to spend intentionally. And second, you need to be actively looking for opportunities to grow your income. Just doing one without the other isn't enough. You really need both. You know, the biggest enemy of intentional spending is right here, our own emotions. We've all been there, right? Buying something because we're stressed or bored, or even celebrating a win. The key is just to recognize when that's happening, to pause for a second and ask yourself, is this a real need or is this just a feeling? That little pause, that's where the discipline is built. Now, on the other side of managing your spending is growing your income. Because let's face it, relying on just one source of income can be pretty risky these days. Here are some great actionable ideas for building more financial flexibility. Whether it's learning a new skill, doing some freelance work, or even turning a hobby you love into a small business, the goal here is to create multiple streams of income that are all feeding into your financial reservoir.
And once you start getting a handle on that cash flow, you unlock this ability to do something really, really powerful. You can start to shift your focus from just getting by month to month to actively building for your future. This is where you create long-term security and, genuine wealth.
So what's the secret here? Make it effortless. The most effective way to save and invest consistently is to just take your own willpower out of the equation. Set up automatic transfers to your savings and investment accounts for every single payday. That way, you're paying your future self first, and it just becomes this consistent, unbreakable habit. But hold on. Before you even think about investing for growth, you need a safety net. This is your #1 priority: building an emergency fund that covers 3 to 6 months of your essential living expenses. This fund is like your financial shield. It protects you from having to go into debt when life, throws a curveball your way.
And when you're finally ready to start investing, it is so crucial to have the right mindset. This is not about getting rich quick. It's not a lottery ticket. Smart, long-term investing is a patient, steady game. It's about letting your money grow consistently over many years and allowing it to outpace inflation, which is that silent little thief that eats away at the value of your cash. It's about building real security through patience, not through risky bets.
This brings us to our final, and honestly, probably the most important section of all. You could have the best plan in the world, but without the right mindset to keep it going, it's eventually going to fall apart. This is all about the mental framework you need for long-lasting success.
A financial plan isn't something you just set up once and then forget about. It's a living, breathing guide for a very long-term journey. And that requires two main things: a real commitment to always be learning about money and the patience to let your good habits compound over time.
So here's what it all comes down to. First, forget about perfection. Seriously, just focus on being consistent. Second, really try to understand powerful ideas like compound interest. It's just your money earning money on its own. It's like that snowball rolling downhill. It starts off small, but as it keeps going, it picks up more snow and gets bigger and faster all by itself. Also, be careful who you're learning from and make it a habit to check in on your plan and adjust it when you need to. That's how you stay in control.
And ultimately, this is the goal. This is what all 5 of these steps lead to. You shift from a life of constantly reacting to financial stress and emergencies to a life where you are proactively building your future with confidence and a real sense of control. You become the architect of your financial life, not just someone living in it.
So I'll just leave you with this question to think about. The choice between reacting and building, well, it isn't made in one big moment. It's made in all the small, intentional decisions you make day in and day out. The blueprint is right here in front of you. The only thing left to do is to start building.